Hello guys, I hope everybody is able to hear me out. Just give me a confirmation. Okay, how are you all? All good? Perfect, perfect. Just give me another 4 minutes, okay? I'll just fill up my water bottle and come back, okay? Just another 4 minutes. We'll start till 8:05, okay? Okay, if you have missed last Sunday class, no, it will not be a blocker. Today we'll be starting machine learning. So basics of machine learning, we'll try to understand what exactly it is and all, okay? So just give us another 4 minutes. I'll come back. Thank you. Okay, guys. So let me set up everything. Today we are going to start. Please make sure, guys, don't go outside your house. COVID situations are increasing. Okay. Today Sudhanshu was also not feeling well, so because of that, he had to cancel 2 to 3 classes. In his area, I think there is some problem. I guess so. There, he's taking rest. Sudhanshu is taking rest. Okay. Now, as usual, please make sure that his wedding is probably being happening in Bangalore only for right now. Okay, so please make sure that you don't go out. Right now, it is really it's increasing. I think the second wave is actually going to come. So please take care of yourself, guys. It is a sincere request, and just a second. You have to take care of yourself, and please take care of your family members. Don't go out for some days at least, because the situation is worse right now outside. Please take care of yourself, guys. I'd just like to request you that. Okay. Till then, I'm just keeping everything ready. Okay. Okay. So everybody is able to see my screen. I have also not met Sudhanshu for more than 1+ month, because of this Corona thing and all. I am not going outside. Uh, like strictly, I've quarantined myself directly in house only. We don't have to really. It's difficult times because nowadays we see a lot of cases, and right, elections, people over there, with respect to elections, they're not even wearing mask. And recently, the Kumbh Mela was there. People have to take care of themselves. I don't know what they're doing. It is very, very okay. But Sudhanshu is just not well. Probably they have also gone for testing. So tomorrow only we'll be able to know. After 24 hours, the result will come. So till then, he'll be taking rest. Okay. Am I not audible? Yes. So just give me a minute, guys. I'm just setting up some of the things to keep everything ready for you. Just a minute, max a minute it will take. Okay. 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 Yeah, I can see everybody's chats. Okay. Okay. So first to first, what all things we have discussed in our previous session, guys? What all things? EDA standardization, auto ML, so many things, and I've been uploading a lot of videos, right, recently. Are you seeing my recent videos? Right? Fit transform, auto EDA. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How are my videos recently, guys? Eval ML. Yes, all those kind of videos. Those are good, right? Yeah. Thank you. Amazing. So many videos are going to come as usual. Okay. Start question series. I'll again whenever I'll get. We'll always try to make some good combination of questions. Like today, I asked one deep learning question and all. I'll come up with again stats and okay, now all the things we have actually done, we have understood about the EDA, we have understood about Python, even stats, everything we have seen. Now, the thing is that now what we are going to continue is basically with respect to machine learning. Okay. Now, machine learning, we are probably going to start. It will be pretty much amazing. Today, we'll just understand about the introduction about machine learning. Chi-square test is remaining. Guys, one only assignment I gave you regarding chi-square test, and that also you're asking. Did you see anybody see chi-square test? I'd given you the materials also, right? Did you check? Anybody checked chi-square test? I told you to check out my video also, right? And no, and like again, I don't know. Like every topics needs to be taught, right? One assignment that I gave you, again, people are asking about that topic also. Okay, so yeah, it is used for two category of features. Any statistical analysis that you want to do, you can basically do it, right? So just check out my video. Okay, one topic only I gave you, right? Not many topics. Other than that, I completed everything, I guess. Everything, I guess. Yeah, everything I have completed in short. Do not even skip one topic also. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and let's understand about machine learning. Now, today will just be an introduction session about machine learning, and we'll also be discussing something about the first machine learning algorithm that is called as linear regression. Now, before going ahead, we need to understand the basic difference between AI versus ML versus DL versus data science. Okay, so how many of you know this exact differences? Okay, what is the exact difference between AI versus ML versus DL versus data science? Anything you want, you can just message. You can message in the chat, guys. I'll just have a look onto your answers. They are subsets. You told us in the first class. Yeah, people are talking about. Okay, I told in the first class subset. is AI's umbrella, and all components are subset, data science. So we have like, if people remember, I've also told in the first class itself, about this specific things, right? And now coming to this, what we will be doing is that let's learn it first of all. And obviously, before we start, we need to learn all these things. Okay. So first of all, just consider that the entire universe in AI. Okay. So entire universe is AI, and always remember our end goal is basically to create an AI application. Okay. This is entirely AI. Okay. Now, the best example of AI, I can say, can I consider Netflix as an AI application? Yes. Can I consider Netflix as an AI application? Can I consider self-driving cars? Okay. Self-driving cars, probably. Can I consider different applications like YouTube, Amazon Prime, robots, Alexa, right? Different things are there, right? Now, why I call it as an AI? And have you heard of a role which is called as AI engineer? AI engineer, right? You have heard of this particular role, right? No? If you have not heard, just go and check out Sudhanshu's LinkedIn profile. Okay. He's basically an AI engineer. When we say AI engineer, it's pretty much focused in developing this kind of products. Okay. This kind of products. Okay. And in this particular product, only, it is not like only AI will be used. There will be multiple things that will be used. But end to end, lot of end to end implementation will be there, end to end use case. Now, suppose I consider this as an AI. Now, AI, uh, this is what AI basically says. You are basically creating something, an application, it may be a software product, it can be anything. And that product is actually working without any supervision. Okay, you don't have to disturb it, or you don't have to supervise those applications. Automatically, based on the interaction, it will obviously work. Okay. Now coming to the subset. Now, the first subset we'll discuss about is machine learning. Okay, so this I will consider as machine learning. Okay, I'll say machine learning is a subset of AI. Okay, now in machine learning, the main funda is that how you'll be utilizing data, and basically doing. See, machine learning provides you. I'll say provides you a lot of statistical tools to analyze the data, analyze the data probably to do the pre-processing of the data, probably to do the future prediction of the data, prediction, forecasting. They can be many things. It will help us to do all these things. But again, the main thing is that the main input over here is that you need to have some amount of data. If you have this particular data, you'll be able to analyze it, pre-process it, probably do different kind of predictions, forecastings, and do a lot of stuffs. But the most important thing is that it provides you some statistical tools. Okay, statistical tools can be different thing. Okay, one example I'll talk about today's only. Okay, it provides you statistical tools. Now this is an example of machine learning. With respect to machine learning, you need to understand there are basically three different kinds of machine learning techniques. One is supervised machine learning. The second one is unsupervised machine learning. The third one is semi-supervised machine learning techniques. Okay. Now see these three terminologies. What is supervised machine learning, guys? Anybody? I hope everybody knows this at least. You have heard of so many things as such, right? Okay, I'll talk about it. Just give me a second. Okay. Okay, let's proceed, and then we'll try to understand what is supervised machine learning. Now let's go with the first step. Over here, suppose I have a specific data set. In that data set, I just have two features, height and weight. Okay, So I have some data like 125 centimeters, probably 40 kgs, 130, probably 55 kgs, 145, probably 60 kgs. Like this, I have a lot of data. Okay. Now, when I have this kind of data over here, my task probably in the future will be that I need to design a model which takes an input as a height and gives the output as the weight. Right? Now, over here, one thing is that while I'm training this particular model, I'm already giving some kind of data to it. What is this particular data? This data is basically my independent features, and this is my dependent features. Okay. Always remember, in any supervised machine learning technique, the data, you need to divide it with the help of independent features or dependent features. And what is the importance of independent and dependent feature? Just understand one thing, that independent feature will be, or I can also say that dependent feature will be in directly dependent on those independent feature, because based on this independent feature, this value will definitely change. Do you agree with me, everyone? Yes. This dependent feature value will always be changing based on the independent feature as the independent feature value changes, right? So when we are training this particular data in a supervised machine learning, you know your input, you know your output. Okay, you know your input, you know your output. And based on the input and output, you are training something through some mathematical equation such that whenever I give this particular input, I will be able to get this specific output. That is the main agenda of supervised machine learning. Now, in supervised machine learning also, there are two different kind of problem statement. And we also say that we have some kind of labeled data. Labeled data basically means we know the output. Okay. Now, with respect to supervised, how many different types of supervised machine learning problems are there? Can anybody tell me? Regression. And the second type is something called as classification. Okay. What is the basic difference with respect to regression and classification? This height weight example can be what? Whether it will be a regression or classification problem, guys? It will be a regression problem. Why it will be a regression problem? Because the output is a continuous value. It can have any values over there. Okay. It can be 40, 41, 42, 43, 45, 100, 1000, million. It can be anything. Okay. I hope everybody is able to understand what I'm trying to say, guys. Yes. Yes, everyone. Perfect. Perfect. You're understanding everything, right? You're understanding everything till now. Okay. Perfect. Now, the output feature over here is continuous. So you are basically saying as regression. Now, if you have some fixed set of categories, at that time, that becomes a classification problem. Okay. Probably I'll say that now I have this height and weight. I may also have gender column. Okay. In gender, you may have male, female, male, female. Now consider that I am going to consider height and weight as my independent feature. Based on height and weight, I need to predict this gender column. Now, will this become a classification problem, everyone? Will this become a classification problem? Yes, it will definitely become a classification problem. Now the question rises, where does forecasting come into picture? Forecasting is what kind of problem statement? Can anybody tell me? Forecasting comes in which type of problem statement? Yeah, I know it is time series, guys. Time series, right? I know it is time series. Forecasting basically means I need to predict how the future forecasting happens. Yes, many people are saying it right. It is a regression problem statement. Okay. It is definitely a regression problem statement. Why I'm saying you that is that when you will be working with the when you'll be working with the performance metrics, there you'll be seeing in forecasting also you'll be using performance metrics like root mean squared error, mean squared error, mean absolute error. We'll discuss about this. Don't worry, we'll discuss each and everything, guys. Okay. So this is one better example with respect to supervised machine learning. Okay. Now, in supervised machine learning, if I have, just consider that if I consider a classification problem, suppose if I have more than categories in my output, okay, like none, then what it becomes? will I say, okay, if I have two categories, what it will become? It will become a binary classification problem. Okay, binary classification problem. Binary classification problem example is whether the person is having cancer or not, whether the person is having diabetes or not, whether the school student will pass or not. All these things are the example of binary classification, right? Now coming to the second one, we have something called as multi-class classification problem. Multi-class classification problem, okay, whether the person is going to fail, pass, or whether he's going to top. So suppose three categories, more than two categories. At that time, multi-class classification problem. Now the third type is something called as multi-label classification. Can anybody tell me what is multi-label? Multi-label, these are basically used in recommendation system. Recommendation system. Okay, let me just give one example. Which is the most famous movie you have seen till now? Recent movie, anything, just name one movie. Yeah, I've seen Drishyam 2. It's an amazing movie. Have you seen Drishyam 2? I know people will say no, no, no. Most of them will say no. You should see this movie. It's an amazing movie. Very, very cool movie. Okay, Drishyam 2. So Drishyam 2, I can say it is a suspense movie. Yes, I can definitely say it is a suspense movie, suppose. Okay, one, right? It is an intense movie. I will say one. Yes, I can find it as an intense movie. Is it an action movie? No, it is not an action movie. Is it a thriller movie? Yes, it is a thriller movie. So now you see that it is satisfying so many conditions. One, two, three, four, right? Sorry, action it is not satisfying. Three is there. Okay, let's consider one famous movie from the people. What they're saying, Endgame. So Endgame is what? Thriller, action, right? So this one will be there. It is an intense movie. Even it is a suspense movie. So multiple categories over here we will be able to see. Sci-fi is also there, right? So here it may belong to a suspense. It may belong to an intense action like this. So multiple labels is being assigned. Clear, everyone? Yes. Yeah. Perfect. Now let's understand about some of the binary classification example. So first of all, I will try to write regression, and here I'll write classification algorithm. Tell me the algorithm names, guys. In regression, anybody who knows whatever. Perfect. Many people know linear regression. Second one, lasso. Third one, ridge. Okay. In classification, I'll start with logistic. Right? Just give me a second, guys. Just give me a second. Okay, so logistic regression, I can definitely consider. Okay, now let me call some of the recent algorithms which are pretty much good itself. Now, if I talk about decision trees, I may talk about ADA boost. I may talk about gradient boost. I may talk about XG boost. I may talk about KNN. I may talk about SVM. right? I may talk about naive bias is naive bias is probably a classification algorithm. When I talk about this all like decision tree, ADA boost, gradient boost, XGBoost, KNN, SVM, this has both regression and classification problem statement. Okay, this has both regression and classification problem statement. Okay, and these all algorithms will anyhow cover it in the class also, so you don't have to worry about anything as such. Okay, and okay, and based on this, we will be discussing different algorithms. Yeah, sorry, I missed out random forest. Random forest is also there. If I talk example with respect to random forest with XGBoost, gradient boost, ADA boost, those are called as ensemble techniques, because here we are basically combining multiple algorithms. There's a concept called as bagging, boosting. So these all things are basically we'll try to understand. Okay. And again, there are many algorithms that we are going to discuss with respect to this. Okay. Now, this is there. Obviously, remember that your data sets will be having features, your independent feature, your dependent features, and based on that, you basically apply this particular algorithm. Okay. K nearest neighbor. Here, KNN I have already written. Clear, everybody, till here? Yes? Good enough? RNN is recurrent neural network. Why you are bringing over here? That is in deep learning part. Don't worry. Okay. Okay. Now, the next thing that we are going to continue after this is probably we have understood about regression, classification, and all. There are time series problems also. Time series, whenever we have, we'll be discussing about some of the algorithms like which is called as ARIMA, Sarimax, okay, seasonal ARIMA. So there's all algorithms also we'll try to discuss whenever we have our input data sets with respect to a classification problem, time series problem statement. Okay. Now Bhushan Pawar says, sir, have you done exploratory data analysis? I don't understand whether they see a previous session or not, or recorded session or not. Right? Guys, did I not complete EDA? Right? So I don't understand what is the problem with people, you know. Okay. Anyhow, for those who say this really pisses me off, you know, when they don't see the previous videos and they come directly onto this. Okay. So it's okay. I can control my anger. I want to control. I don't want to do this. Okay. Okay. Now we have discussed about this particular things. Now coming to the next thing. Okay. The next one is basically called as unsupervised machine learning. Unsupervised machine learning. Now, what is unsupervised machine learning? Now, let's discuss about unsupervised machine learning. In supervised, I told you that you have some kind of label data. Okay. So some of the tasks like clustering. Okay. Then other task like if I take an example like clustering is there. I may take PCA, which is called as principal component analysis. Okay. This two task is usually done by unsupervised machine learning techniques. Now, what does unsupervised machine learning technique say that? Here, probably I may have any number of features. Okay. I don't know what is the main task over here. This is not a prediction things. Okay. Like how we divide this into independent and dependent feature. In case of unsupervised machine learning problem statement, we don't divide this into independent and dependent feature. All the features will be independent. Okay. We try to find out similarities. Suppose I have some data over here. This data information is there. I would like to make groups of data. I like to make groups of data in this. Probably this three points may fall in this particular group. Next 3 points may fall in this particular group. Next 3 points may be falling in this particular group. Okay. And that is what we do in unsupervised machine learning. We try to segment the data. We try to do this. One best example is there. I'll show you this particular example. This is very important example. See, Suppose imagine you are an advertising company and you have launched a product. Do you think this product, and this is very costly product, this is a very costly product, do you think that this email, suppose you want to run a campaign, okay, do you think that this campaign should be given to everyone? Probably this advertisement should be given to everyone. Yes or no? Tell me. If you want to launch this particular costly product, do like if I want to start an advertisement, I have to basically provide this advertisement only to rich people, right? My target audience will be rich people. So suppose if I make clusters of people, like this will be probably a poor, right? This will be middle class people, and this will be high income group people. How do I find out these three groups? If I take one feature like salary, I will be able to categorize these three groups. Yes or no? Yes. If I just have salary, probably if I have salary, I will be able to categorize these three groups. Probably I'll say that 10,000 to 50,000 salary will be in the middle group, right? Less than 10,000 may be in the poor group. Probably greater than 50,000 may be in the rich group. Then again, I may have one more thing, which is called a spending score. I may say that this person spends a lot. Suppose I'll be assigning 0 to 10, right? And probably I say that, okay, this person is spending more, right? So based on this, I will be able to cluster those people, right? I'll be able to cluster those people, right? So this is one example, and this use case is called as customer segmentation. Very popularly used. These are used by banking companies. These are used by e-commerce companies. Have you heard of it or not, everyone? Any use case that you may have probably heard of it, right? Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. I hope everybody is understanding this. If you have not heard of it, don't worry. These are from, yeah, for loans. I want to probably provide an offer to some specific loans. Okay, guys. So have you understood till here? Okay, now let me talk about one more algorithm, which is called as PCA. Now, in PCA, what we do is that suppose I have 100 features in our data set. We also say these features as dimensions. This dimensions, sometime, for solving a specific problem statement, I can convert this 100 feature into 4 features also. Now, if I really want to reduce this number of features, again, for this unsupervised technique will only work. Okay. So this all example is also there. In clustering, you have different clustering algorithm like k-means. You have hierarchical mean. You have dbScan. Lot of different algorithms are there for clustering algorithms. Okay. Can you explain PCA? PCA is nothing but it reduces the dimension. Just understand this. It reduces the dimensions to lesser number. Like from 100 features, I want to reduce it to 4 features. Just understand till here. Okay. Later on, we'll be discussing how to do it. Mathematically, we'll try to understand it. Okay. Clear with respect to unsupervised? What is the full form of PCA? Principal component analysis. We'll discuss about it. Don't worry. Okay. Now comes the third type, which is called as semi-supervised. Now, what do you think semi-supervised may be? Semi-supervised. Semi-supervised, first of all, initially you'll have some amount of labeled data. Semi-supervised basically means you'll be having some amount of labeled data. The model will train on it. Later on, the model will learn based on the interaction. So can I say my Netflix application works on this? Yes. Initially, your user information will be there. You will be putting some information like what kind of movies you like. Later on, as you go on seeing different movies, the model will be getting trained based on the interaction. Clear? Yeah. So how is the explanation till now, guys? Are you loving it? Are you able to understand everything? Semi-supervised basically means initially your model will get some labeled data. It will train itself, and later on it will be learning based on the interaction. Semi-supervised, can I say that it is a kind of reinforcement learning also? Yes. So semi-supervised basically also says that it is a kind of reinforcement. Okay. Interaction basically means, now I told, right? If I take a Netflix application, I'm probably seeing a movie. Probably from action movie, I went to some other comedy movie. So that are my interactions, right? I am seeing those. So it will be recording things. Then it will be recommending based on that. Okay. Okay, perfect. So, right. So reinforcement and semi-supervised, I can say that reinforcement is a kind of semi-supervised learning. Okay. It comes under this. Clear everybody till here? So we have discussed about machine learning in that 3 techniques. Perfect. Amazing. You all are going really well. You're going in an amazing speed. Okay. Now coming to the next one. Have you heard of deep learning? Have you heard of deep learning? Yes. So deep learning, if I consider, it is a subset of machine learning. So this is my deep learning. It is a subset of machine learning. And whenever I talk about, again, Lalit Agarwal, reinforcement is a type of semi-supervised learning. Please listen to me. Again, I'm repeating things. Please don't try to understand. Again and again, same questions. Okay. Deep learning is a subset of machine learning. Okay. And over here, what we are actually going to say is that, okay, deep learning, whenever we are talking about deep learning, we are basically talking about something called as neural networks. Okay. Now, whenever we talk about neural networks, it is called as mimicking human brain. Scientists thought of that whether we can make our brain work, sorry, whether we can make machine learn how our brain actually learns things. So that is the reason from where deep learning, the concept of neural network came into existence. Okay. And whenever we are talking about neural network, you know that in neural network, you will be having an architecture like this. Okay. You'll be having an input layer. You'll be having a hidden layer, right? You'll be having another hidden layer. You'll be having output layer, and this will be connected like this. We'll be discussing all these things. Okay. But again, all the different types of this all conditions are there, and that this will be your output layer. Probably your output needs to predict whether the image is a dog or a cat. Okay, it will be able to predict. So how we learn things, similarly we'll be trying to learn things. And why deep learning became very famous, because of the concept of an algorithm which is called as backpropagation. This was done by um, backpropagation was by whom? Can anybody tell? I don't remember. How do I not remember his name? Come on. Jeffrey Hinton. Okay. Sorry. Jeffrey Hinton. Because of this guy, he's a Canadian research scientist who works in Google also, and who is also a researcher and teacher. Uh, this person, because of him, this backpropagation concept actually came up. Now this is being used in every algorithm, every deep learning algorithm. Let it be RNN, LSTM, transformers, let it be anything, everything. People are actually working on this, right? In the back end, backpropagation is being used extensively. Now, whenever I talk about DL, okay, it is called as deep learning techniques. Here, your first one is basically called as input layer. This is your hidden layer. Like how, see, our input layer, like if I try to compare it with my face, right? My eyes is my input layer, right? So information will go away. Then it will go to some neurons. Neurons will pre-process those signals, and finally in my brain I'll be able to visualize something, right? Similarly, this also works in that particular way. Okay, so I hope everybody is able to understand. Now coming to what are the different types of deep learning techniques, same thing are there: supervised machine learning technique, unsupervised machine learning technique, and reinforcement machine supervised deep learning techniques, unsupervised deep learning techniques, and reinforcement deep learning techniques are also there. Okay, so coming to this, let's discuss about different type of deep learning in case of supervised. Okay, can anybody tell me which are the different types of supervised deep learning techniques? So first type, if I talk about supervised, the first type is called as ANN, artificial neural network. Here, whenever your input data is tabular, like how we use in machine learning, you can also solve it with the help of ANN. So your input data will be in a tabular data format. Okay, input data, tabular data format, like how you do the given the machine learning. There also you do some kind of pre-processing and all the things. The second one is called as CNN. CNN basically says convolution neural network. Here your input is basically your image data. Okay. Then third one is basically called as RNN. RNN basically means recurrent neural network. Any time series problems, text data, and all, you'll be able to solve it. So I'll say text data. I'll talk about time series data. Okay. Everything can be solved. With respect to ANN, you can solve both regression and classification problem statement. With CNN, you'll be obviously using for classification problem statement. RNN, you can again solve regression problem statement for this, regression and classification. Okay, full form of RNN, recurrent neural network. Recurrent neural network. There are some more advanced techniques of RNN like LSTM RNN. There is bidirectional LSTM RNN. Bidirectional LSTM basically means long short-term memory. Then you have something like bidirectional LSTM. Then you have encoders, decoders. Then you have transformers, right? A lot of techniques are there. Then you have BERT. Then you have GPT-1, GPT-2, GPT-2, GPT-3. A lot of things are there. Okay. With respect to CNN, apart from image data, whenever your input is in the form of image data or video frames. Okay. Now, if I talk about CNN, there is one more thing which is called as object detection. Like today only I have uploaded one object detection video in my channel. So in CNN, you can also perform object detection. Object detection basically means Keras is used for DL, right? Yes, Keras, or you can use TensorFlow. You can also use Pytorch. Object detection basically means, suppose I have an image, I have a man over here, I have a cat over here, right? I have a dog over here. This should be able to recognize this particular image, and it should be able to label this like this with the coordinates. Okay, this is what object detection says. In object detection, you have various techniques like RCNN. Okay, then you have fast RCNN. Then you have faster RCNN. Okay, then you have SSD. Then you have YOLO, right? All these techniques are actually there. All these techniques are there, okay, which we basically use. ये एल्गो से ज्यादा हॉलीवुड मूवीज के नाम और कैरेक्टर्स लग रहे हैं. Yes. Because most of the research has been come from out foreign countries, right? So they usually come up with this. In your syllabus in this machine learning, we will only be learning till this RNN. Okay, this is basically present in advanced DLCV NLP, which started today. The course has started today, and the timing is from 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. So we have actually started this advanced DLCV NLP today itself, which is called as, this is a combination of deep learning, advanced deep learning, computer vision, and NLP. Okay, so whatever topics I've actually told will be actually explained there. Does deep learning also require EDA? Yes, some amount of EDA also. Okay, so you got an idea about this, guys? Got an idea now? Yeah. Yeah, you can join that class also. Okay. Yeah, different types of recommendation system are there. There is something called as content based recommendation, collaboration based recommendation, and all. Okay, I'll allow you to talk, guys, don't worry. Okay, is recommendation system under supervised? It is under supervised. It can also be the combination of both supervised and unsupervised. Okay, now I missed one important thing which is called as NLP. See, NLP is really necessary, and this is the current research that is basically happening. Whenever your input data is in the form of text data, right? See, can I make machine understand what I'm talking right now? Can I make a machine understand? I'll say, hey machine, what is your name? Will that machine be able to understand? No, right? So what we have to do is that we have to convert this text into some vectors. Vectors basically means some numbers. And that numbers through some mathematical equation will be, the machine will be able to understand those. Okay. So that is the reason why we use a lot of NLP techniques. Now, NLP can be the intersection of both machine learning, deep learning. It will be present in machine learning also. It will be present in deep learning also. So I have not made it as a separate category. It is a separate domain altogether. Like how vision can be used in both machine learning and deep learning. Similarly, NLP is basically being used in both the things. Okay. So in NLP, there are a lot of advanced techniques which I have written over here, from LSTM, encoder, decoder, transformers, BERT, GPT-1, GPT-2, GPT-3. These all are state-of-art algorithms for NLP task. There is something called as word-to-vec, word embedding. These all techniques are just used for converting a text data into vectors. Later on, you can apply in any kind of classification problem statements. Okay. I hope everybody is understanding, guys. Yes. Perfect. Yes, you can also join DLCB NLP class, guys. Not a problem. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Now, let's see where we are in the specific graph. Now we have talked about this one. Now tell me, we have understood about AI, ML, DL, right? Now, where do you think? Yes, we can detect emotions in speech. You have to use the combination of vision plus NLP. Now, guys, let us discuss about something. Where does data science fall then? Yeah, it is covered in full stack data scientist, guys. Where does data science fall into, right? Where? Kahan hai data science? Data science, whenever you call yourself as a data science, it is just like this. They'll tell you to do EDA, you have to keep your mouth shut and do the EDA. They'll tell you to do right, go and create a machine learning algorithm, you have to shut your mouth and go and do it. If they tell you deep learning work, go and shut your mouth and do it. NLP, go and do it. Deployment, go and do it. Do whatever they say, you have to do it. You cannot say, no, I'm well versed in this. Okay. That is the reason why. Okay. They'll just shut your mouth. And because I have got this kind of things, in my previous companies. They used to just say, Chris, go and do this. I used to not say that, okay, why should I do this? Okay. Because data science is very new, guys. If you go in any companies, there'll only be managers who will be telling you what to do. They're also learning things. Okay. So always be careful with respect to this. Uh, be good in terms of working. Okay. So, sir, is it still new? Now it is becoming popular too much. But if you go 2 to 3 years back, but still, we say that, right? Managers takes time to learn something. They're always in their comfortable zone. Now companies want them to explore, okay, and they really want them to think out of the box. Just that they'll be thinking, I have this idea, I want to implement this. Implementation will come to us only, who are learning these things. They'll just go and present those ideas in front of everyone. Okay, that is the reason why I left my last job. So this was the thing. I thought of why not start my own something. You know, so all these things are there, and I've made all this kind of videos. How do I remember all these things? Because now I've worked in each and everything, with respect to deployment, with respect to object detection, with respect to NLP, everything. Okay, and always remember, guys, once you learn these techniques, please put up your ideas, do new things. After some days, you may have a startup idea. You can actually do it, guys. I'm telling you. Okay. You know about iNeuron. iNeuron is a startup. It is less than 1.5 years startup, and we were able to grow tremendously because we have already worked in so many years of industries, and then the same thing we are teaching you all, and you can see so many successful stories, right? So that is the reason why I'm telling you to focus on the things. Okay. Now, how we will be starting going ahead? Yes, I'm not saying that they are always bad managers. They are very good managers also. There are some managers who will tell, okay, you have done this particular work, please go and try to give it or try to show this particular demo in front of all the people. Okay, they'll give you that particular opportunities also. And there are some managers also who will be very, very not happy to give you that opportunity. Okay, so this is all company strategies, guys. You'll be able to see in some of the companies there will be very, very old people also who are just want their salary and want to keep quiet, do it aram se. Okay, perfect. So okay, clear everyone? Yes, clear everyone. Now I'm just going to tell you some of the use cases. Tell me what kind of category it may fall into, whether supervised or not. I don't know, man. I've written so many things. See, this is like inside my head only, right? See, so many things every time I write. Oh, this is from the previous class, right? I think. How you are able to remember, learn this by utna baithna data science ही है मेरा आजकल. Gayatri, I think sitting, eating, sleeping, everything is with respect to data science nowadays for me. Because not only teaching, I'll be uploading everyday videos. So कितना टाइम लगा, मैं अभी भी बोलता हूँ like I'm not perfect, still I have to learn so many things. I still say I still forget things, I still forget to tend to things and all, right? Masters is not compulsory. I don't have masters. Okay, you want to become a citizen data scientist. Okay, and the main aim is that you need to get a job. Do whatever you want, get a job. Okay, I've seen many people who have done some amazing work now, whom we have actually taught. Okay. Okay. Now coming to the next thing. Okay. Okay. Now let me talk about some of the use case. Okay. Just tell me, you have to tell me like this. It is a supervised machine learning problem. Probably it is a regression problem, classification problem. It is a supervised, it is a classification problem. It is a supervised, unsupervised. It is a segmentation problem, like this. So I'll give you some of the use case over here. I want to predict whether the stock market will crash or not. Tell me what kind of problem this is. Stock market will crash or not. This is the output. Supervised binary classification. Amazing. Probably good. I want to predict whether the person is having cancer or not. Binary classification supervised. Whether the loan should be approved or not. Binary classification. Perfect. House price prediction. Regression problem statement, right? Supervised regression problem statement. Okay. Let me give some more examples, and let me make it a little bit difficult for you. Okay, let me make it difficult over. I want to predict. Okay, anomaly detection. Have you heard of this? Okay, anomaly detection. Anomaly basically means from I have some data set which is completely very different data set, just like an outlier. Okay, many people are saying unsupervised. Yes, unsupervised should be your idea. Yes, there are techniques to also solve it supervised, but we basically say it as supervised, unsupervised. Anomaly basically means, one example is that try to take something that is completely different, try to predict something completely different. So we try to use an unsupervised machine learning technique and we try to cluster that. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Now we have given so many things with respect to this. Let me just consider that I have a problem statement. Just see this problem statement. Okay. I want to predict T crop prediction. I want to predict T crop prediction. Now, many people will say, what kind of problem statement is it? Regression? Many people will say regression. But do you think, can I make a combination of clustering and regression? Yes. Can I make a combination of clustering and regression? This is called as custom ensemble. Custom ensemble techniques. Why I'm saying clustering? Why I'm saying clustering? See, tea crops in India, if I consider the data, which all regions basically grow tea? Probably Assam, Darjeeling, Uti, probably in Karnataka, below belt, right? Hilly areas, right? Tea crops are basically grown. Every places will be having a different climatic conditions. Yes, every places will be having a different climatic condition. So why not I cluster those climatic condition together? Suppose I get 3 different climatic condition and then I make a different regression algorithm for that. Will this work well or not? Right? So different combination we will be probably taking to do this. Okay. Yes. Netflix may also cluster movies. Yes, they will definitely do it. Nowadays, this is the strategy that is being used. You know, they take the combination of both cluster and they take the combination of both regression. It may be a classification also. Okay. Clear, everyone? Good. Good, everyone. Perfect. Happy with the explanation, everybody? Happy. Okay. Let's start the first algorithm. The first algorithm that we are going to discuss is something called as linear regression. Okay. Now in linear regression, what happens? Guys, don't worry, I'm well. You know what happens when you talk a lot, right? When you, from morning, I'm actually talking. This is my 3rd batch today. Okay. So when you talk a lot, what happens? Your throat will be having some kind of, problem. So it's okay. I'm absolutely fine. I'm not going outside. Okay, guys. Now just consider this. Linear regression problem. Let's consider a simple feature with respect to weight and height. Now just imagine with respect to weight and height. Okay, this is my weight axis and this is my height axis. I have some of the points like this. Okay. Now I have this particular data set. This is my entire data set. Each data set is basically represented by 2 coordinates. One is your X coordinate and one is your Y coordinate. Okay, everybody, I hope everybody is getting. I hope you have seen this kind of diagrams, right, guys? In EDA, everybody has seen this kind of diagrams. EDA, right? In EDA, we have seen this kind of diagram. Now our aim is that tomorrow, if I get a new weight, probably I get a new weight over here. I want to do this particular prediction and try to find out what should be my new height. Okay. I will first of all train my specific model over here with this particular data set. Okay. And then once I train my model with this specific data set, what I will do is that whenever tomorrow I get a new point with respect to weight, I should be able to predict the height. That is what my linear regression model will do. Okay. Now, how do you think this particular problem will be solved? Just tell me. Think of it. Yeah, many people are saying y is equal to mx plus a. Linear equation, best fit line. Okay. So our main aim should be that we should try to create a best fit line like this. Okay, best fit line. Definitely, we cannot create a binga tinga line, which is a curvy line. We cannot just create a curvy line like this. We cannot. It will be very difficult to create a curvy line. Okay, but definitely we can create this best fit line. This line is basically represented by the equation y is equal to mx plus c. Now let's understand what this y is equal to mx plus c basically means. First of all, let's go and see this x point. This x point is nothing but whatever coordinates you have with respect to x. Now in this particular case, this is my x, 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 right? With respect to all the position, different x. M is basically called as slope. Okay, M is basically called as slope. What is this slope? Slope basically says that from this best fit line, suppose for this particular point I have over here. Okay, for the next point, if I try to project it, I will be having this one. Now, if I want to calculate the slope, I will try to use a simple equation like this. I'll try to calculate this. This says that with respect to the change in the x-axis, what is the change with respect to the y-axis? Okay. In this particular scenario, since it is going in the upward direction, so the slope will be positive. What it says, slope, as the x-axis is changing, probably just by 1 unit, what is the change in the y-axis by 1 unit? And this is the change that is basically given. Clear, everyone? I hope everybody is able to understand. So this is my change that I'm actually getting. Okay, that is what this particular says. No, it is not correlation. Just understand. It just says that with the increase in some unit of x-axis, what is the increase with respect to the y-axis? See, y-axis will, here it is increasing by this much, right? That is what it says. That is what is slope, guys. If I would have understood this thing in my college days by taking this particular example, no, I would have got better marks in my 12th standard in maths. Okay, because there were no teacher who was used to explain something like this. Okay, so slope can basically be seen as change in the x-axis, sorry, change in the y-axis divided by the change in the x-axis. That's it. Okay, so slope is how y dances to the tune of x. Yes, you can also say in that way. Okay, but again, the problem statement comes is that how do I say this is my best fit line? How do I say this is my best fit line? I can draw multiple lines, right? I can draw somewhere like this. I can draw somewhere like this. I may have some other line like this. But how do I say a line is a best fit line? That also we'll try to discuss it. Okay. There's something called as cost function, loss error, everything we'll discuss. And probably we'll discuss them mathematically tomorrow. Okay. But here I just want to give you this particular understanding. Okay. Now everybody understood about M. Everybody understood about X. Yes. Everybody understood about M and X, right? Yes, perfect. Now coming to this main point, what is C? C. What is C, guys? C is intercept. Now C basically, intercept basically means that when your X is equal to 0, when your X is equal to 0, what is your Y value? In this particular line, suppose I consider this blue as best fit line. In X is equal to 0, it is coming at this particular point. Somewhere this value, suppose if I say it is 120, then my C should be 120. Okay. I hope you are getting it, guys. C is called as an intercept. Intercept coefficient, you can talk about like that. Okay. Intercept value. Now tell me one thing. Suppose I have this particular data set like this. My points are somewhere like this. And suppose my best fit line passes through this origin intercept. Then what will be my C? C will be 0. I hope you are getting it, right? Because C, when the X is 0, Y is also 0. And obviously, see, if I have this particular equation, Y is equal to mx plus C, my X is 0, then Y is equal to C, right? In this particular scenario, my C is also 0. So Y will be equal to 0. So how do you define intercept? Intercept basically says that whenever your X value is 0, wherever point the Y, it is basically meeting the Y axis, that is my C, which is called as intercept. Clear? Amazingly explained. Okay, perfect. I hope you are able to understand. Now, guys, the thing is that I will not continue right now because again, the mathematical part will take more time to get completed. So we will try to tomorrow. We'll try to find out how do we find out this best fit line. Okay, how do we find out? See, in order to find out the best fit line, the strategy will be something like this. See this. Okay, the strategy will be something like this. Suppose I have my points, something like this. Okay, initially I will initialize a best fit line. Then I'll fine tune it. I'll fine tune it and then I'll make it proper. Then I'll make it proper. Then I will make it proper. Then I'll make it proper. Then finally you'll be able to see that after one time of time, after many iteration, I will be getting a best fit line which will be passing through this point with the error rate very, very less. Okay. Okay. So we will try to do this. How to come up with this best fit line? There is a concept which is called as gradient descent. Gradient descent. And the strategy is very, very simple, guys. For every fine tuning technique and every change in the line, it will calculate the distance between the predicted point. Okay, just imagine like this, guys. Just imagine like this. Suppose I have this, okay? I have this, okay? I have this particular points. Let me just make a very simple point of three points. Suppose I have this, I have this, I have this. If I want to find out the best fit line, I will just try to draw a best fit line like this. I'll try to draw a best fit line like this. Okay. Now what this best fit line says that this is with respect to my X and Y axis. Tomorrow a new X value comes over here. Then my Y value basically will be from here to here. So my new Y value will be here. Okay. So here will be my Y value. Okay. And the new point that will be plotted will be here. Now this point, we basically say it as predicted point, Y hat. We say it as Y hat. Okay. Now always understand, guys, over here, if I really want to find out what is the error rate, or we also say it as the residual error. Residual error. How do we find out? We make a very simple thing, right? What we do, this is my Y point, right? This is my true Y point. Everyone knows that, right? This is my Y point, but this best fit line says that my predicted point should be here. Okay, suppose this is my Y1, this is my Y2, this is my Y3. Okay, so this point can be considered as Y1 hat. Yes or no? Guys, just imagine this best fit line says that the original point should be predicted somewhere here. Okay, then in order to calculate Y2 hat, again I'll go and see this specific point, so it will be nothing but Y2 hat. Then again this particular point will basically say Y3 hat, right? And in order to find out the residual error, we basically need to find out the difference between Y1 and Y1 hat probably, plus the difference between Y2 and Y2 hat, plus the difference between Y3 and Y3 hat. If this difference, once we are summing it, if it is lowest for that best fit line, then I can consider this is the best fit line. That is what it does in gradient descent. It will try to find out the residual error should be minimal for a specific scenario for that specific best fit line. And I'll try to solve this particular problem with this help of gradient descent. Because how many number of iteration it will take? We should follow an iteration such that, probably at one point of time it is going and it is basically converging and it is finally forming a best fit line. We'll discuss about this tomorrow because we will be taking a lot of time for this. I require 45 to 50 minutes to explain it properly. Okay. Okay. Have you understood this? Yeah. Square of the difference you can take absolute distance and all. It's okay. I'll show you this all different techniques. It can be squared. It can be modulus. It can be, I can also use modulus. I can also use this modulus. Okay. Different scenarios will be there. Okay. Okay, so now I will allow you to talk. Okay, Anshit Jain, I'm getting your messages. Just raise your hand, guys. I'll allow you to talk, and then you can ask me the questions. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Hello, yeah, Krish Akshar.
Yeah, go ahead.
So today I was just seeing that EDA part,
Hmm.
and they do have given some projects like Byte.csv and everything in the material.
Hmm.
So I was trying to do that Byte.csv thing, and
Hmm.
in that I was getting error in Pandas profiling part.
Pandas profiling.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
See, it may be because of your environment issue.
I tried to. Is there any way to degrade that? Because there is a way to upgrade Pandas. Is there any way to so that I can degrade it to
See,
another version?
degrading is not an option. Just try to create a new environment and just try to do it again. Your issue will get fixed.
Okay, because I was searching in Stack Overflow, so there it was mentioned
No,
that
no.
it was
I'm telling you, whenever that
okay.
those kind of scenario comes, there may be conflict with respect to some of the libraries. So make sure that you just create a new environment and try to do it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Next
And one
question.
thing is that
Yeah.
uh, that you are telling that best fit line thing, in
Hmm.
which in this there will be multiple lines which can be there because for every slope there can be thousands and lakhs of lines which can be there. So is there any built-in library to find that best fit line or
No, no,
we
no. We will be learning. We'll be learning. Wait till tomorrow. No,
okay,
we'll
okay,
be
thank
learning
you.
about it. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Shivam here. Sir, actually, I have a couple of questions. First question is, what is the role of intercept in linear regression? And second
No.
one is,
Hey, guys, just a second. Whoever do not have any question, you can drop off, guys. Because now I'll be taking doubts. Tomorrow I'll be continuing. The reason why I'm finishing it early, I'm just having some throat pain. And yes, I will be requiring 1 hour to explain you the entire linear regression. See, intercept, it is nothing. It is just telling you that from where. See, the best example of intercept, I'll say. Suppose if I really want to predict the salary of a person, based on experience. Okay. Now, if you are a fresher, you get some default package, right? Like 3.5 lakhs. Yes or no?
yes, sir.
So this is my intercept in this scenario,
Okay, okay. Yes, sir. Understood, understood.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Sir, second question is, yesterday I was practicing on a PC. I
Hmm.
understood it very well, so I can able to plot PC using a scatter plot, but I am not able to interpret some information from this scatter plot. So can you please make some videos on that?
I've already made so many videos on scatterplot, right? Do one thing,
No, sir,
come up with your problem statement on Thursday doubt clearing session. Okay.
yes, sir, yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Next question, please.
Hello.
Yeah, Vishal.
Yeah, Krish, I wanted to ask you that how do we have to submit the statistics assignment? Like, do we have to submit?
GitHub.
No, like, do we have to handwrite, like handwritten, or do we have to code it in Python?
You can do both of them.
Oh, okay, okay. Thank you.
Yes. Next question.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. So, sir, I want to know about multi-level classification also.
Multi-level. Now just imagine that you are watching a movie. Movie can be of different categories, right?
Yes, sir, can you go up where you have written that in that too? I want.
This one.
Mm, yeah, like in gender, when you are dividing, it is a binary classification, and gender we are calling like it is a feature,
Hmm.
and male, female, like they are like a data.
Hmm.
And here in multi-level,
Hmm.
suspense, intense suspense is like a label or it is
Yeah, these all are dependent
data.
features. This is all dependent features. This all are dependent features.
Okay,
Like this
means
feature.
okay.
Here you will be
Okay,
having
and
more
these
than
are the data.
one dependent feature.
Okay, like it is like one hot inputting, you can say.
Yeah, you can say in that way.
Okay, okay, sir.
Okay. Next question.
Yeah, hi Krish. This is Gagandeep. Just a small question I have. As you
Hmm.
mentioned that this advanced techniques for deep learning and AI1, there is a different class, DLVP and LP1. So once I have completed this course which I am doing right now, okay, which I am doing currently, then I can join the class afterwards, or is it mandatory to join both the class at the same time?
No, you can join afterwards also, not a problem. You'll be having pre-recorded videos. Okay.
Hey Krish, I had a question on the internship that's come up. So should we complete this ML sessions and next 2 week sessions before we go into the internship?
Yeah. So I'll try to complete it at least 1-2 algorithms so that you will be able to participate in the internship.
Okay, got it.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
And when will it start? I mean, like I know we submitted the form couple of days back. When will we?
You'll get that email. Right now, the entire team is in a very critical state, So
Okay.
many
Just
of them
asking.
had actually gone for. Actually, everybody's staying in Sudhanshu's house right now. Most of the team members, because Sudhanshu
Okay.
is working on some of the things. So it'll be announced very soon. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Uh,
Yeah. Suman.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
I'm actually trying to build a darker image for a ML flow model. So when I'm building now, at the end, I am getting build failures, and it is ML flow scoring jar problem. So
What?
can I share
Again,
the screen?
what you're saying?
So actually, I am trying to build a darker image for a ML flow model.
Huh.
So it is getting success at the end when it was using ML flow score jar file. So it was throwing some error and it is getting.
I also have to check. See, I cannot just directly say you what issue you may be coming with respect to Dockers. It may be many things, So I cannot just say you
Okay.
directly just by hearing it what may be the problem. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thanks.
Yeah. Next question. So guys, how is the session? How was the session? Today's session? Everybody liked it? Should I continue like this? Because probably I'll be continuing some of the machine learning algorithms for you all. Okay.
Sir, actually, I wanted to know like logistic regression.
It'll come, ma'am.
Uh,
Next, after linear, we'll discuss about logistic.
Yes, sir.
And
Bec-
already I've made a video on that also in my YouTube channel. You can check it out.
Okay, sir. And another thing, like I tried to contact the support system, that email ID, but they were not responsive there.
Regarding what you're trying to contact them,
For logistic regression only, I was trying.
but why you're not following the syllabus with respect to the things? You already have pre-recorded videos, right? Did you see that?
Yes, sir.
So what is the question
Like,
that you're having?
like an analysis partner, like the ones which you are teaching are by supervised machine learning. And I wanted to do it by plain, like without any training and test model. Like,
Without any training and test model, what do you mean by that?
simply because I am having SNP data in genetics.
Okay.
So I was finding it difficult to do using the data. So that's why.
What is the data set all about?
So like a polymorphism in different individuals, like 15,000 sites in the genome which are different
No.
for
How is the
each.
data? Tell me one feature inside that data. What it is?
Like on Y it's the mastitis occurrence like of a disease, and on the x-axis it's different for I'm having 96 animals, so their SNPs are there, like some 15,000 SNPs are there in total. So
SMPs. What do you mean by SMPs?
SNPs are polymorphisms, like they can be of the form A, T, C, and G. Like
Then you just
so,
check out my video. Now I've already made a video on that also. You have to use NLP techniques for that.
NLP.
You just go and search in YouTube, right? I've already uploaded a video on that. Let me just show you. See this DNA sequential matching classifier using machine learning. I already made a video on that.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, Chris.
Yes.
So means I have some problem regarding that classification means the output will be categorical.
Yes.
Like here we have that
Fixed set
height.
of discrete values. Okay.
Okay. So like means for the current problem, like if the gender and height will be the independent, and the weight will be dependent, then
independent. This two will be independent and this will be dependent.
yeah, then it will be classification. But I'm telling
Yes.
like means when gender and height is independent and weight is dependent, at that point it will not be classification, right?
It will become a regression.
Okay. So classification means it's kind of means output will be categorical, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, Krish.
Yes. Please go ahead.
Is there any selection criteria for the internship?
No selection criteria, ma'am. We are allowing everybody to perform in the internship.
Okay, because some of my assignments are not submitted yet.
It's okay.
So...
It's okay. Not a problem.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello, Krish.
Yes.
Krish, can you go towards that advertisement example?
Which example?
Advertisement. That target audience one. Yeah. Since you have like told that based on salary, we can predict, like we can predict, like
not predict, categorize.
Yeah,
we can
categorize. But like I'm having one question that that salary is unknown basically. So how can we do like we decide our target audience? Because many people will
that
not,
only some feature you will be requiring, right? At least some feature you will be requiring. Without having anything, how will you do anything? Unsupervised basically means you don't have any labeled data, but you have some data over there. You don't know which is your independent and dependent features. You're trying to find out similarities in that particular data in the form of groups.
Okay. And can you tell me like how forecasting is a regression? Like I'm a little bit confused. Like why it is not forecasting that example, like how it is a regression problem, like and not classification. Like I'm a little bit confused.
Okay, forecasting. What do you say in forecasting? Like suppose I take an example of sales. Okay. Sales can be 100, can be 100.5, can be 1.5.
Okay, it's like a forecasting of anything. Like I was like in my mind, it was like weather forecasting. Okay.
Weather forecasting also will be like that only. No, it can be anything. What is weather forecast? You want to do AQI, you want to do temperature. It will be continuous value only, no?
Okay. And can you like little bit explain residual error?
I'll talk about it tomorrow. Don't worry. It is nothing, but that best fit line is there, no? And my real point was this: the difference between these two. I can take it as one residual error.
Okay.
When I combine all the points, then that becomes the entire error with respect to this best fit line. Tomorrow I'll discuss about it.
Okay, sure. Thanks,
Krish. It's Mohit here.
Yeah, Mohit.
Sorry to hear about the team.
Yeah, not a problem. It happens. What we can do.
Yeah, we know in Bangalore these days the number is increasing a lot and very high. So just checking for two problems. One is, let's say in the forecasting part, because you are already splitting in the future. So instead of predicting, it become a forecasting because there is a time series involved. So if you have to differentiate between prediction and forecasting, what should be I look to say which is prediction problem and which is forecasting problem?
So you want to understand the difference you're saying?
Yeah.
So initially what happens is that suppose you have this specific data set, okay? Okay. Now in this kind of data set, you want to do the prediction for the upcoming 2 years, suppose. Okay. Now usually what happens in this kind of problem statement, you do train and test split based on dates. So this will be my training and this will be my test. Okay. what you do, you train your entire model with this, then you do the prediction or forecasting with this, and then you also calculate your RMSE, probably
Right.
different performance metrics.
So here I'm testing my model.
Yes.
And the first part I trained my model.
Yes.
Okay.
Then what you do for this, the further one, you basically do the forecasting. For this, to calculate the RMSE, you have to wait for the new data to come.
Okay.
Then you try to find out the difference. Okay.
So prediction and forecasting is similar, right?
See, whenever we say forecasting, time series data is involved.
Yeah. So I'm assuming, yes,
in prediction,
for the
this strategy is not there for train test split, first of all.
Correct. Okay.
Right. This strategy will only work with respect to time series data, where date is basically mentioned. I can say that is only the basic difference. Later on, all the performance metrics that will be used will be almost same as compared to regression.
Okay.
Right. I hope you are able to understand whatever I taught today.
Yeah. It was very clear concept-wise, right? What we would be doing and how to differentiate. There was logistic regression. So somewhere I heard that you're saying logistic regression is a classification algorithm. I noted it down. It could be wrong that I have understood. So I just want to check with you. Logistic is where basically, which is not a linear.
Yeah. So you will be confused with respect to that regression problem, right? Probably in regression, you will be considering like that. But it is a classification. I'll tell you why it is called as logistic probably. Okay.
So I've noted down. Later on, when we reach there, we will understand that. But I heard that, so I just want to clarify that I had heard wrongly, or maybe some.
No. It is a classification problem.
It's a classification. Okay, that's it. I think I have from my side.
Hey Krish.
Yeah.
Hey Krish.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Shiku. I have a use case where I think basically from what you explained, this is also a forecasting problem. But there is an app for which I have legacy data for around 10 years. User data, basically, how users have logged in. And this app is basically a submission kind of, where it's kind of a submission wherein first you have to do data submission within the first 10 days of the month. So I need to do a forecast for the next month, saying how many users may
try to use a library. Try to use a library which is called as FB Profit. It will be able to do it.
Okay, so this will be able to forecast like how will be the user activity for each day in the next month.
Yeah.
And if like how if I want to predict if a particular user, like how many users will be late based on data, is that also possible with this library?
No, it will not be possible. For that, you have to create something else.
Okay, so this the types of ML that you have mentioned today, what does and which does these come under?
I really need to think about that particular use case. So just by saying like this, I'll not be able to understand. But by seeing features, I'll be able to understand.
So this okay. Okay, yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Next question, please, guys.
Hi, Krish.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a doubt on EDA, that is house price prediction. So when I'm doing scaling on test data, I'm getting an error. Could not convert string to integer for the integer data features. And I have checked the value count of the feature, but I can't see any string data in it. The whole data is integer, but I'm getting could not convert the string to float.
Sheikh Samira, just try to come on the Thursday doubt clearing session, because you should actually ask this question in Thursday doubt clearing. You can share your screen there, and probably I can have a look onto the code, right?
Okay, Krish, definitely. Thank you, Krish.
Yeah. Till then, you try it out, okay?
Yes.
Till then. Yeah. Next question. Yeah. Go ahead, please.
Hello, Chris.
Yeah. Swadesh, go ahead.
Sir, hi. Actually, my question is, I'm confused with assemble technique and tagging and boosting techniques. So can you explain?
Swadesh, check out my videos because we have not gone till there. So that is the reason I'm telling you, check out my machine learning videos. I've already created that. Right?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, from past 2 weeks, as I was tested positive for corona, I didn't come to know about the internship form.
Don't worry, the next
So right
internship will
just
also
now
be
I
available
came
after
to
1
know.
month. Don't worry, the next internship will be after 45 days again. Don't worry. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Divya, go ahead.
Sir, I have a doubt on feature selection, feature scaling. So when we should perform either before testing, before splitting the data or after splitting the data?
No, after splitting the data, then only you'll be able to do fit and transform. No, after
Okay,
splitting the data.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, Krish.
Yeah.
And can you explain the factors and level time in ANOVA again? You said you will explain today in the clearing section.
See, simple example. No, if you say this gender, right? I showed you one feature, right, over here. Right? Gender. What is gender? Gender is basically your factor. Levels is like male, female.
Yeah, that one is clear, but in factorial ANOVA, it gets confusing. 2 or more factor with 2 or more levels.
So I'll say gender over here, okay? So gender can be one factor. I can consider one more factor. Anything, any category features probably. Smoker, probably. Yes or no can be the levels in that.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, so one more feature. Let me consider one more feature over here. Probably over here is smoker. Yes or no. Right? So, right, one more example can be something like this. Smoker, it has yes or no. Gender with male and female. This combination.
Can you explain that with the iris data set again? Iris is a factor and that 4 columns is level.
Iris just have with respect to those kind of level one factor. I'm taking this example, no? We learned with respect to TIPS data set, right?
Mm-hmm.
You remember TIPS data set, what all we had? We had gender, we had smoker column, right? If I take this 2 column, I may consider this as a factorial ANOVA because in smoker, I may have 2 things, yes and no, right? And with respect to what other category I can compare? Gender. This will be my male and female, right? So male can be yes or no, like this, right? Any number of males, probably 20 males says that they're smoker, 20 males say that they're not smoker.
Okay, thank you, Guru.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Krish, I just want to know, like, if I go for full stack data science, so do I need to take your DLCV course separately?
No need to take.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, next question.
Hi, Krish, this is Mani here.
Yeah, Mani, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a couple of questions. One is when you're submitting that assignment, so we are making the GitHub as a public. Is that fine or?
Yeah, it is fine. It is fine.
Fine, right? Okay. The second question is, we do have a couple of use cases that where we done for some NLP based models. So do we have any separate sessions within the complete team? So where they showcase the what are the use cases they have existing, anything?
Yeah, we'll talk about those kind of use cases also.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure. Thanks, Krish.
Next question.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
I have one question off topic. I was wondering that is there any way to access iNeuron from YouTube videos? Because right now I'm accessing through the student portal, and it's every time just open in my, either in my Safari or in some browser only. So just wondering.
No, we have kept it now. Recently, like what we have done is that we are moving everything to cloud. Okay. So after some days, you will be able to only see from the cloud itself, not from.
No, that's all. Okay. And one other thing was, I was wondering that for your personal YouTube channel, is there any way to subscribe that? Because currently it's asking for $13 a month. So I was wondering if there's any discount or anything available.
Yeah, for iNeuron student, you can go with 299 rupees. I think second plan you can go with. It is somewhere around $3 to $4, I guess, per month.
Oh, okay. So it will give access to everything?
I'll give the access. Don't worry.
Okay. And only the last question. There's a new batch starting for the other courses. Is it okay for me to join that one too while I'm doing this?
You can start with DLCV NLP, which started today.
Okay. And the material will be updated for our courses when the new one comes, or is gonna be
it'll get updated. It'll get updated.
Awesome. Thank you so very much. I appreciate all the help.
No problem.
Thank you. Bye. Thanks.
Yeah. Guys, next question. Okay, so if all the questions are over, guys, I think Rishabh, go ahead, please.
Yes, sir. So, sir, I want to just ask about the stats. What we learned till now. This how these are used, like in EDA part, or how we are. It is
I
going
told you,
to be
EDA plus in machine learning techniques, in feature engineering techniques, all those things that will be used.
Okay, means stats are the base. We know that. So it is going to be used in EDA, machine learning, and feature selection.
In many things, probably in the confusion matrix also, right? Performance metrics later on.
Oh, actually, I wanted to know. Hello.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, so I wanted to know means the full life cycle. Like I have seen your videos. So basically, most of the time we spend in EDA. So actually, today you are talking about some ideas, like anything you can go. So I have also seen like you are talking about some agricultural idea. So actually, I was also having an idea. Like so, I have also presented in my college. So I got selected there. So my idea was like we will collect all the data from the sensors, and we will know what is the condition of the field, and according to that we will tell the owner that what to do. So is this idea can be implemented?
Yeah, it can be, but we have to look at on collecting the data sets and all. It can be.
Means it will collect the data from all these sensors and temperature sensor, different types of sensor, and then it will know the what is the condition of the field. If the field is require more water, then it will send a message to the owner in the phone that, and after that we can just by switching on from the phone only, the field will be irrigated.
Again, I cannot answer anything unless and until I see some precise data. Okay.
No, I can give you that SRS one. So I just prepared that all the SRS. So can you
do one thing? Do one thing. Come on the Thursday doubt clearing session with that specific data, and I'll try to help you out with that. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, guys. Next question.
Hello, Krish.
Yes.
I have general question only. I am 2018 engineering batch, and now I am 3 years experience. My bond is going to end in just 2 months, so I am going to attend a second interview in another company. I'm basically a .NET developer. So just now we are starting machine models. So we, for the next company, shall I concentrate more on .NET or ML side?
See, for machine learning, why you are waiting? Just see the pre-recorded video and keep yourself ready, no?
Okay.
Why you are waiting for that? You have the recorded videos, no?
Okay. Shall I go through that?
Yeah. And right now, if you are not that much confident, go with .NET only then.
Okay, Krish. Thank you.
Okay. Next question, please. Okay, guys. Perfect. So sorry, today I was able to take this much only. My throat is a little bit in pain. But anyhow, we'll continue the session tomorrow. Nothing will be skipped, and we'll try to cover a lot of things. Vijay Lakshmi, go ahead, please.
Yeah, hi, Chris. Actually, I was watching your advanced house price pricing EDA part, and you have given that one task is to work on test.csv file. But I was checking that there was no column, sales price column, dependent column was not there. Means it's mistakenly it's missed, or I could
Yeah,
not get
so
it.
in the test data, you don't have that sales column. No, that is what you have to predict.
Okay.
So why you'll have test output column over there?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Next question, please. Okay, perfect. Sheikh
Hi,
Samira.
Chris.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have
go ahead.
wondered.
Yeah.
Do we need to merge the test data and train data? Because I was checking the house prediction code in Kaggle. For few codes, I saw that.
No, they have merged it in Kaggle. They want to get good ranking. In real world scenario, you should never do that.
Okay.
Otherwise, your model will overfit. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So, guys, thank you all. And yes, tomorrow we'll continue the session. We'll make sure that you see my complete machine learning playlist, guys. Their linear regression has already been uploaded. Just go through that, keep yourself ready, and tomorrow we'll be discussing about that. Okay. So thank you all, and yes, please take care, guys. Outside, it is very dangerous right now. Please stay at home. Try to stop, like, don't travel much, because it is very, very much serious things to take consider right now. So, and take care of yourself, everyone. Thank you, and I'll see you all in the next session. Bye bye, everyone. Thank you, guys, and have a great day ahead. Keep on learning. Never give up. Try helping people, everyone. Thank you. Bye bye.